Let's talk about Elon Musk and We Robot. I am filming this while traveling. I'm actually up on stage tomorrow giving a keynote on the future of AI and marketing to about 500 SEOs and agency owners here at PubCon, but I had to drop in with some commentary on what happened Thursday, October 10th, when Elon Musk literally booked out the Warner Brothers studios in Burbank, California, and recreated Will Smith's iRobot. So we're going to talk about that in this video, and I'm going to share with you some inside information from a good friend of mine who was actually there, Sam Mollaei, and what he found out while he was actually at the event. And by the way, if we haven't met, hi, I'm Julie McCoy. I work full-time in AI. I'm a critical thinker studying this landscape for myself, asking how can my family and I adapt to the coming times with integrity, heart, soul, and yes, I want to win big. I see things a little differently. I believe that the age of technology, the one we're living in, will bring us into an age of abundance, and that is something very special. But honestly, it's up to us to steward it, and we've got to step away from a lot of the fear-mongering out there in order to do it. If you haven't, I invite you to subscribe right here on YouTube at Julia McCoy. All right, so if you're not aware, Elon Musk is a little crazy. But for somebody that owns more than one company valued at over $5 billion each, Neuralink, Elon Musk's neurotechnology startup, the one that got the first AI chip implanted in a human brain, the Boring Company, a tunnel engineering company that Musk owns, X, formerly known as Twitter, XAI, an AI research operation that is developing LLMs and AI software products owned by Elon Musk. He co-founded 7 companies: PayPal, SpaceX, DeepMind Technologies, Tesla, the Boring Company. He even co-founded OpenAI itself, and he was the one that originally named that company OpenAI. When he co-founded it back in 2015, he said that open in OpenAI stood for open source. I believe that there's a lot of hype, clickbait out there around Elon Musk, which is why the truth of his vision doesn't really get seen. Before I pass you off to my conversation with Sam Mollaei, who was actually there, let me give you a brief recap of the event. The number one reason why I think We Robot solidifies Elon Musk as a visionary. Oh, and don't forget, 3 days later, after the We Robot event on Thursday, October 10th, on Sunday, October 13th, SpaceX launched this gargantuan Super Heavy-Starship rocket, unpiloted, and it was successfully caught by giant mechanical arms. That is a huge leap forward. Hard to describe, honestly, how big that leap forward is. Watching this rocket land without braking, actually get caught by these little arms, was a moment in history. I knew I was watching. It's just crazy to me that Elon Musk had that breakthrough on Sunday right after We Robot. Now, some are saying the We Robot event actually tanked Tesla's stock. It was a disappointment to investors. It was not a good thing, and it was a smoke show. I'm going to let my friend Sam talk a little bit more about that. What was unveiled were the Robotaxis, cybercabs without steering wheels or pedals, robovans, which Elon Musk named Robovin, and then, of course, the humanoid, the Optimus. The most mind-blowing thing to me is this idea of driverless taxis and how much that could actually drive the cost of driving down. Now, of course, we still need to figure out how to maintain, wash these vehicles, take care of them. I've seen some good YouTube videos that talk about that, but honestly, that could probably be automated at some point too. Right now, it costs around 80 cents a mile to drive your car on the roads. Of course, that can go up and down depending on if you have a beater or a really nice car, but that's the average cost. Elon Musk wants to drive this with his driverless cars all the way down to 5 to 10 cents a mile. That's like an 8x decrease in the cost of driving, maintaining, having a car. And can you imagine just hopping into a driverless taxi and you could pretty much instantly get where you want to go while doing other things in the car? I, for one, am a big fan of that idea. I'm not going to tell you that I text and drive, but I definitely would enjoy catching up on my books, content creation, learning while in the car instead of doing the actual driving. So this new direction for humanity makes a lot of sense to me, and it fits into this picture of true abundance, which I really think we can have. The narrative you won't find in mainstream media or Hollywood. Keeping us in a state of fear is an easy way to keep us controlled. But the truth is, what's coming in the technology age will be such an incredible breakthrough of not having to work, of being able to decouple labor from capital itself. And that is an amazing thing. When automation can take away all these menial jobs we as human beings really weren't meant to do anyway. But back to the point. So the cost of driving could go down as much as 8 times. We could be not driving our own cars anymore one day. The future could hold a lot of robotaxis. Where I don't agree with Elon Musk is what he says when he talks about the Optimus. So on stage at the We Robot event in California, Elon Musk said that the Optimus can even watch your kids for you. This is where I think visionaries like Elon Musk have a clear break in seeing the best use of machinery in humankind. Machinery isn't meant to take over the human tasks that we were actually made to do. One of those very human tasks is parenting. I invest in an amazing nanny for my 2-year-old. I'm investing in a pretty unique private school for my 10-year-old. And I can tell you right now, in no world would I want a metal or even a fabric robot to pick up my 2-year-old, comfort my kid, and pretty much do my job. That to me is a very backwards world, because what would I be doing anyway if everything else is automated? If I'm sitting there mindlessly on my phone, on my computer, while the robot is tending to my 2-year-old, I think I've lost touch with what it means to be a human. Now, folding my laundry, cooking my food, doing the chores for me at home, hell yeah. I'll buy the Optimus as soon as it is an actual autonomous humanoid that can function and do these tasks independently on its own. By the way, what I learned from my friend Sam about this totally blew my mind. All right, so the very last point before we go to my conversation with Sam, I just finished another book by Ian Forster called The Machine Stops. You might have seen it if you watched my YouTube short. That book, I think, is a really good picture of what I was talking about previously, where we really want to be careful that the machines don't steal our humanity from us. So that book is a super dystopian story way out there where humans live and are dependent on a giant machine that feeds them, clothes them, puts them to sleep, connects them with their friends, only they never leave their individual rooms, which are deep in the center of the earth. Everything is sent to them through tubes. They connect with their friends through holograms. They never use their bodies. They never get up and walk. They never see the sunshine. And because of the indoctrination of the machine, they believe that sunshine is toxic, that touching one another is vulgar and not befit the human race. Now, just because of the nature of how we're all created, I don't think that will ever happen. There's this term in the medical industry called FT, failure to thrive. When you have a human baby that's born and it can't get skin-to-skin contact with its parents, and there is no human love, and it's literally left cold and alone, you can feed it, but if it doesn't have that warmth, that nurture, it is so susceptible, so broken down that infant can die. We have this innate need for each other, and I believe that fostering that is where the best moments of our lives come from. Joy, fulfillment, the rewards of being a parent, getting close to your kids, seeing them succeed in life, pouring into them. And if we delegate these things to the robots, then what are we? All right, so that was a bit of a soapbox. As my channel grows, you'll know that Dave Shapiro stopped publishing regular content about AI. I really want to share more real, raw, unscripted thoughts with you. I never script any of these videos word for word. I outline them. I use AI tools to do that. I do a ton of research myself humanly, but as I said in almost every video to date, I'm also a critical thinker, and I'm going to apply that as I learn, break all these concepts of our new society, the paradigm shifts of what's coming with total automation. And my goal is to make it make sense, as well as shine a light on the fact that we can actually live in an era of true abundance, but only if we avoid the dangers and the pitfalls of creating total dependence on one system, whether by plan or accidentally, believing the lies and the myths, having AGI fall into the wrong hands. Yeah, there are many pitfalls, but the upside is absolutely incredible, and it is one that inspires me every day. This is the greatest age we've ever lived in, and I believe we can make it that. All right, for the inside scoop on We Robot, let's head over into my conversation with Sam Mollaei. I'm here with Sam Mollaei of mylegalacademy.com, and he has a firsthand experience from being at Elon Musk's We Robot event in Burbank, California. Sam's a good friend of mine, longtime entrepreneur, and I just wanted to get him on my YouTube channel here. Actually, he suggested it, and I was like, heck yeah. And have you share a little bit about just being there, what it was like, what you thought, also like your impression of, is this viable tech? Because that's a question that's been going around. Is it going to affect the stock of Tesla? Is it a negative, positive? So jump right in. First of all, how was the experience actually being there?
Out of this world is the easiest way to explain it. And it was special because nobody knew what to expect. Like, there were just speculations all across, but nobody had any idea before and during the time throughout the whole experience. So the whole time, everything was just like, what is this? Where am I? What's going on?
Oh, wow. So like you were in a sci-fi movie. It could have felt like.
Sci-fi movie that you have no idea what's the next second going to look like.
Wow.
And it was also filled with a bunch of fanatics, which is pretty cool. It kind of reminded me of like how people used to love Apple. You know, just the people that wait in a line. Those, imagine just thousands of those types of people that love Tesla and they love technology. They're all there in one place, and everyone's excited to see what's going to happen. But it was delayed 1 hour. So that was pretty interesting. Kind of built it up even further. And then we didn't know how long it was going to take. And things kind of happened pretty quickly, like a long wait. Then it felt like, to me, it was like 30 minutes, and that was it. And it was 3 major releases, right? The first one was Robotaxi, which is basically just a fully autonomous 2-seater car. I thought the design, I thought it looked amazing, but the whole autonomous doesn't really blow me out of the water because I already have an FSD on my Tesla X, and I experience it on a daily basis. And I'm honestly amazed every single day with the FSD technology. Just yesterday, I was coming from San Fernando Valley in Los Angeles, coming down to LA, and I took the windiest road. I think it's called Beverly Glen Road, which is like this 30-minute, super curvy, very hard drive, and I completely did it on FSD for 30 minutes. And I touched it once, and I'm like, the whole time, just like, what is this? This is real life. But the interesting thing is, when you look around, like, you know that people, first of all, don't even know that the car is driving itself. So people don't know that it exists. But here I've been the last 4 or 5 months using FSD as an early adopter. So, and I know this is a much better technology that people are going to be looking back in 10 years and be like, what? Remember back in my day, we used to drive a car.
Wow.
It's one of those things.
You think we'll really be there? You just said 10 years. Do you think it could be like, do you believe in that time frame?
Yeah. So Elon Musk's obviously, he actually explained on Twitter just 2 days ago that his interpretation is 50% of the predictions that he makes with time is later than what it is, but the media just focuses on the ones that are late. So everyone thinks that he's late on every deal that he makes. But whatever it is, the common denominator is that everything that he shares, okay, maybe 50% of the predictions are late, but 100% of the predictions happen. It's just a matter of when. And that's the big gist that'll come out of this discussion. The reason why the stock didn't perform well, my hypothesis was that people were just expecting things to just be released. Like, we're going to announce autonomous cars to be on the road next month. That was like the one thing. And second is people's expectations is always higher than reality. We're in business. We know that things take time. You can't just go create, a community and bring value to your clients and let's share, create everything that you want to create to the world. No, it takes team, infrastructure, scalable. Can you scale up this production? The business aspect of things, all these things take time. So the people's timing is just completely off from what reality is. And a lot of people also are short-term sighted, right? So let's go back to the first release.
Those are great points, though.
Yeah, so Robotaxi was the one thing which was cool, and then second thing was the the van, which is
Revolving.
Yeah, revolving. Yeah,
Come on, Elon.
So that was pretty cool. That looked like the coolest party bus. Definitely, it felt like way into the future. And the third one is the Optimus robot, and he announced it. We've seen it before. But he made a mention that it's like, oh, you guys are going to be interacting with these robots. And he mentioned it, and then the keynote ended, and then the park was kind of released. And again, nobody was knowing what to expect, so everyone just walking around. Now there's the robotaxis and robovans and whatever are all over. They're driving around, picking people up and dropping people off. And we're just like taking videos. And then I'm like, this is a pretty cool space. And I continue walking, and I see a bunch of people that were like crowded over like a hole. And I'm like, what's in that hole? Like, it's like a small hole. And I go, I'm like, what is that? And it's a robot standing in the middle amongst like 15, 20 people. And this robot is interacting with all the humans around him. In the beginning, you observe, and you're just observing. This robot is kind of very quickly responding back to people. Different questions, different things. Go do this, say this, can you answer this? And people are having a blast with this robot. And once you kind of get over the fear of like watching this, then you start interacting with it. And when you start interacting with it, you're like, whoa, what is this? And like everyone's like, what is going on? Is this real life? And everyone's blown away. So there's a lot of that interaction that kind of happened. And then also on the side, you see that that there's these certain robots that are doing specific tasks. So one of them was giving away chocolate gifts. So you go, it's like you're waiting in line, and you go interact with these robots. You have some kind of interaction, and then he hands you like a little gift. And then the other one would basically interact with you and pour you a beer. And as you're listening in, these robots were like really funny. They're like cracking jokes, being charming. And it was a really funny experience. And then I kind of walked away from the show. And my first reaction was, hey, the Robotaxi is really cool. The Robo Van is pretty cool, but the robots blew me out of the water. Interaction, all this stuff. And I posted a couple of videos, and a couple of people commented, these robots are human controlled. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? No, it doesn't seem like it. I questioned it. One of my close friends kept texting me about it. I'm like, no, that's just FUD. People love spreading FUD. Then when yesterday I messaged you that we should do this show, I'm like, just this morning, I'm like, let me just browse through my videos and let me just try to do some research to hear what the robot said. And in one of the videos I click on, I realized it was one of my first interactions that I had with the robot. As soon as I walked into the conversation, it was somebody to the right of me who asked the robot, how are you controlled? And the robot expressly explained that I am currently human controlled, but this is basically just a demonstration. But in a couple of years, I will be fully autonomous. I'm like, oh, really?
Wow, you got that on video.
Yeah, and I just happened to catch it on video, which I didn't realize until this morning. And I've just posted it on YouTube.
Wow.
But one of the very few instances, and I saw one other Twitter video that, another person asked more or less the same question, and they got the answer. And I guess I didn't want to believe it, but today I'm convinced that, if the robot admitted to it, and especially his explanation, like, yes, I'm human controlled now, but in a couple of years, I won't be. So now I'm convinced that now it was actually human controlled. So let's talk about it. Right? Yeah. So yes, so my assumption right now, 95% likely that they were human controlled. However, it still doesn't take away from what I saw with my own eyes. This standing robot that's walking around, interacting, moving, the gestures, the hands, the be able to pick up stuff, be able to give people fist bounds. The physical engineering of the robot is there, pretty much. The part that's missing right now is the autonomous, which is all it takes is just an NVIDIA chip inside these robots with a pair of eyes, and that connected to the body parts to be able to coordinate, what the robot is thinking. That more or less exists in a Tesla car. Essentially, you have a pair of eyes, which is the cameras. You have the mechanism, which is the steering wheel and the gas pedals and the brake. And the other part is you need data, a lot of data. So more or less, Tesla already has the technology. They just need more time to be able to train it and specifically apply it to this mechanism for them to make this work. So I'm a believer that they're going to make it, they're going to do it. They're going to create this thing that in 2 or 3 years, it will be fully autonomous. Okay, maybe the timing is 2 years off from where we were, what they shared with us or what we thought. But I'm a long-term believer in Tesla, and I really do strongly believe that Tesla is the best real-world application AI in the world.
Wow. Well, I love how you got to the bottom of that. Like, is this actually humanly controlled? Because that is something, I've seen there's so much speculation out there about this, which is why I wanted to talk to you. Like, you were actually there. But you got to the bottom of that, but then your ability to see the future, which I think we as entrepreneurs have in a unique way, and say like, okay, even though this is what it is right now, like it is black and white right now, it is in a box right now, in the future, it can be that rainbow. And I believe in that too. Like, I think that where this will go in just a few short years, because of what we're seeing, we have like almost this explosion. Compute power is like out of a box. It used to double every 2 years. Now it's like upwards of 10xing every half year. And so we have that. We have all these companies in the race to build the first supercomputer. We have LLMs going from a predicted 50 years of next model to releases in 6, 8, 12 months instead of 50 years, which was the prediction by a lot of researchers. So you add all these things up, and I think you have this future horizon that's really hard to picture right now. It's almost like, if you tried to tell somebody in the medieval times working as a peasant in the fields, we're going to live in a city with skyscrapers and electricity and cars on the roads. Like, that's what I see where all this is going. And, the We Robot event just felt like the turn of that new century. Like, yeah, okay, they're humanly controlled right now, but imagine when this is autonomous. However, that makes me think that I can't pre-order it to cook my dinner next January.
No, fortunately not. But I would say 2026, 2027. He said, at least with Robotaxi, that it will be 2026, but before 2027. So that's...
And I like what you said earlier, too. It's not about if, it's about when with Elon Musk. That is so true. So it's like, just when will this happen? We know it will. And like you said, the headlines we see about Elon Musk are the ones where he didn't come through. And those are the much rarer occurrences, but those have been the ones that are highlighted. So I thought that was a really good point, too.
We're just impatient. People just want things to be done to, today or tomorrow. Just the one right now. But no, these things take time. And just to add to what you just shared, Julia, it's all about application of AI. So the companies that are actually taking a application kind of approach to things, kind of like what Brandwell does. You guys are taking, content marketing and branding, that whole world, and you actually have a tool that applies that using AI. That's what it's about. All what Tesla is, just a real world application company who's applying, cars and humans with AI to go to take us to the next world. So yeah, super excited.
Yes, super excited. Well, thank you so much, Sam, for hopping on and sharing this firsthand account. Where can people find your business? How can they work with you? What do you do?
If you're a lawyer and you're looking to grow your firm and also you as a person, and take yourself and your law firm to the next level, and just go to mylegalacademy.com. Book a call to speak to us. We have the proven formula for helping you grow, automate, and scale your law firm.
And that's AI assisted. You've got some really cool AI-driven processes in there.
Yeah. We're leaning towards AI. We're building it out in-house. We act as the guinea pigs. We first kind of test on ourselves. Then we share with our members. Then we share with the world. We're going through those right now. We're building out that value right now with AI applications for lawyers.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. That was Sam Mollaei coming on my YouTube channel. Appreciate you. Hey, thanks so much for watching this video. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Also, let me know what you think of this new style. It's a little bit more unscripted, a little bit more raw. I noticed in the comments, a lot of you seem to be asking for that. So maybe that's the direction my videos will take as we continue to go forward. I look forward to hearing from you in the comments. And as always, you know what I'm about to say. I'll see you down the next AI rabbit hole.